There's a spring in the mountain and it flows down to the town.
From NPR Music and West Virginia Public Broadcasting, with support provided by Bailey & Glasser and by Wild, Wonderful West Virginia, welcome to another Mountain Stage with our special guest host, Kathy Mattea.
There's a song in my heart, just a simple little tune, but the rhythm and the melody won't leave me alone. Around the world it's just a simple song. This world is turning round, a simple song. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia. I'm Kathy Mattea. I'm sitting in for Larry Gross tonight. I have been on this show 19 times. Woo! I know, I can't believe it. But it's my first time hosting, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I think you're going to be glad you did. In our next hour, we're going to hear from the Seamus Egan Project. Seamus has made 9 appearances on Mountain Stage with the group Solace, but now he's back with a new group of friends he calls the Seamus Egan Project. We'll also hear from the delightful Cheryl Wheeler, who'll be out next hour. And later this hour, we'll hear from Sam Baker, who has a compelling story to say the least, and I know you're going to love his songs. In just a bit, we're going to hear from an Alabama group that I'm excited to hear again, the Mulligan Brothers. But first, on his 4th appearance on Mountain Stage, we have a singer, a songwriter, a pianist, a producer. He's a musician's musician. He's based out of New York City, and he's been a fixture on the New York City music scene for years. He walked in today and he said, "Oh yes, I've met you before. It was 25 years ago, and I produced a commercial for Lipton Tea that you sang in Nashville." And I was like, oh, of course I would know you anywhere. He's played with everyone from Jonathan Edwards to Tom Jones. And he's spent lots of time opening and playing with Judy Collins, who signed him to her record label. He also produced the classic Sean Colvin record, I Don't Know Why, as well as the last 4 solo CDs for Peter Wolf of the Jay Giles Band. His latest album is called Long List of Priors. Please welcome to the Mountain Stage, Kenny White.
Looks like we may have finally hit a dry spell. If I'd any sense, I'd tell you we're sinking like a stone. It's never fun when only one can feel the distance, and the path of least resistance is worn and overgrown. The heart is a living, breathing contradiction, gets cooler with friction, warm with a gentle touch. I heard a line about the heart once, now I'm gonna steal it. When it's full, you hardly feel it. When it's empty, it weighs so much. Day by day and all through the night, it's all about who's wrong, who's right. I'm getting tired of the endless battle. I'm just looking for a road less traveled. Operators are assisting other people at this time. Hang up, you lose your place in line. This music's driving me insane. You said my call was important to you. I don't know if that's true. Hey, where'd you go? Disconnected again. You appreciate my patience, but your public relations skills cause me palpitations. Can you answer me at all? If my meter's in the basement and my bank is right nearby, why am I talking to Mumbai? I'd like to escalate this call. My blood's warm, but the trail's gone cold. Have I grown up or just grown old? My hand is steady, but my faith is rattled, and I'm just looking for a road less traveled. I'm torn between desire and a will to be released. Do I need a locksmith or a priest? I'm a mess across wires. My reputation's painted on every wall in town. The past is gonna hunt me down. I got a long list of priors. Well, they say that money's wasted on the wealthy, youth is wasted on the young, but I don't fall among that kind of chatter. All we're given at the start is a target and some darts. You collect the other parts, and then you try to make them matter. Take your place in the new frontier. Ah, man, I hope you're happy here. The poet's dead and the song's unraveled, and I'm just looking for a role. I'm no beacon, I'm no saint. I'm a canvas allergic to paint. The light fades every swing of the gavel. I'm just looking for a role. Let's travel. Yeah, I'm looking for a role. I'm looking for a role. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here at the Mountain Stage for my 4th appearance. Lost a lot of people, a lot of musicians in 2016 when I wrote this song. Some of my favorites and more than names than I can begin to list. Some actors, theater people. I lost a couple friends that year and wrote this one in anticipation of losing someone close to me. This is called The Other Shore. There's a time, early evening, the city shows its mercy. Lines are cast through the river glass as the sun sinks into Jersey. On my left, the lady glints, the copper torch of liberty. On my right, the faded prints of where you stood so near to me. Through window panes as thin as prayer, you can hear the peals of thunder. And I've spent hours sitting there, confusing love with hunger. Today my longing knows no limits. I'm held by what I cannot hold. Stay with me for just these few more minutes and keep me from the cold. Soon the car will come and take you, and I will have to let go for just one more chance to make you laugh. I'd give the world, you know. I have not always shown my best. I've wounded those I most adore. But all is well, safely rest. I will meet you on the other shore. Thank you very much. I'm going to play this other song. These are all from my latest record, Long List of Priors. I spent a little too much time watching Law and Order. This one came about after spending a little too much time on the internet, which I'm guilty of doing quite often. I had taken to reading the news just before going to bed, and I don't recommend that to anyone. I haven't slept since November of 16. I learned about a wedding crash by rebels in New Delhi. I learned about a guy who stashed 3 kilos in his belly. I learned Amelia Earhart may in fact still be alive, and that killer bees in Sicily are learning how to drive. I learned my friends are two-dimensional, every secret written. You don't need to tap their phones, there's nothing left that's hidden. I learned that cats are cute, unless you happen to be a mouse. I learned it only takes a suit to be elected to the House. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. I learned the world's a lovely mystery. I'm glad to tag along. As soon as someone's sure they're right, that's when I'm sure they're wrong. I learned that it's a better thing to build a bridge than burn it. I learned that people taught to turn the other cheek won't turn it, and that evidence and science, now at that we thumb our noses. The mention of a dying earth, the conversation closes, but pitchforks and streets of gold, that we're gonna swallow. Well, I learned not to judge, but pardon me if I don't follow. You can spend half your life tossing hopes into the air. 2 hands engaged in labor do more than 1,000 clasped in prayer. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. Well, I learned that looking good may have a lot to do with lighting. I learned about a war or two we had no business fighting. I learned the highest judges in the land can still be bought. I learned if you play footsie with the next stall, you'll be caught. And that you can repent once, but the second time you're toast. I learned the ones most guilty are the ones that yell the most. I learned that people cite the Constitution till they're blue, when the only amendment that they know is number 2. Some try to save the unborn through their righteous megaphone, but God help you after the first breath you take on your own. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity. Here's to the human race and all of its vanity. I learned that people swallow metal things more often than I'd guess. I learned that less is more, and that I'm sure more or less. I learned that even when you think you are, you're not alone. I learned that Walmart shoppers are a breed unto their own. I learned that music I detest has other people smitten. The only time I have agreed, worst lyric ever written. Horse with no name. Plants and birds and rocks and things and I learned the body politic is now severely broken. I learned the best opinions are the ones that stay unspoken. And still I sing this song to you despite my own advice. Believe me, soon it will be over and I'll sing something nice. I learned we got a stack of bills and nothing left to pay them. No more things to say and now 100 ways to say them. Then I'll learn all this in an hour here at Laptop College. So much information and so little knowledge. I learned we need to make time for our husbands and our wives, and that we're drifting far from what's important in our lives. Not you and me, I'll make your motor run, don't you ever doubt it. But baby, hurry up and come so I can tweet about it. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so go. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. You know, I've joked over the last few months. I said, you know, it goes over better here than it does in West Virginia. And I was wrong. So thank you. I was using you as a scapegoat. I had never played this song in West Virginia, so I will be back. I'll play you one more song. I wrote this song. My folks were married in 1943. My father came home from Italy or North Africa. He was in both those places during the war. And 3-day furlough, came back to New York City, and they sealed the deal, and he shipped out for the next 2.5 years. He came back, and they made up for it pretty well. They were married for just months short of 60 years. And I wrote this song soon after he passed away. This is the title of my second record. It's called Symphony on 16 Bars. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to Kathy and Larry and the whole Mountain Stage crew. It's a great pleasure to be here. How do I put this down? And how can I make it clear what I'm feeling now? And how I wish you were here. And how do you fit an ocean into a riverbed? How do I turn your memory back into you instead? I might as well try naming all the stars, or write a symphony in 16 bars. I might as well try naming all the stars, or write a symphony in 16 bars. Thank you all very much.
That's Kenny White. Woo! Well done, Kenny. Kenny counts among his influences Randy Newman, could you tell? Randy Newman, he says, Rachmaninoff, the Stanley Brothers, and Stevie Wonder. That's a pretty wide range. I feel like I need to take those lyrics home and dissect them, and then write a college term paper on them. His latest album is Long List of Priors. That was Kenny White, and you can hear more of Kenny later in the show, sitting in with Cheryl Wheeler. He'll be accompanying her later on. And now it's time to welcome our singer, Julie Adams, to do a song for us. I have loved her singing for decades. And as always, she'll be joined by the Mountain Stage Band. That's Ron Soule, who leads the band and plays acoustic guitar. Ryan Kennedy and Michael Lipton are on electric guitars. Bob Thompson's on the piano. Steve Hill plays the bass. Ahmet Solomon is our drummer. Julie's chosen a John Prine song for us, and she asked me to sit in with her. It's called The Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. Please welcome Julie Adams.
Come on big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed and the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run.
Well, I got a heart that burns with a fever, and I got a worried and a jealous mind. How can a love that'll last forever get left so far behind?
So what in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow. It's crossed the evil line today.
How can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say?
So what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run.
That was Julie Adams and the Mountain Stage Band doing Speed of the Sound of Loneliness by John Prine. You're listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia.
Major funding for Mountain Stage is provided by Bailey & Glasser, LLP, a nationwide law firm born in West Virginia with offices in Charleston, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Morgantown, D.C., Boston, Alabama, and Delaware. Details at baileyglasser.com. And by Wild Wonderful West Virginia. Whether you are looking for extreme outdoor adventure, family fun, or an intimate getaway for two, there is something for everyone in the Mountain State. Travel planning and trip ideas available. Visit gotowv.com. Additional support provided by Charleston, West Virginia's Convention and Visitors Bureau, showing the world why Charleston is hip, historic, and almost heaven. Your adventure starts online at charlestonwv.com. This is Mountain Stage on NPR. It's great to hear your experiences listening to Mountain Stage, or if you go out to see a band you heard on our show. And of course, we always welcome your suggestions. If you'd like to write to us, the address is larry@mountainstage.org. And if you'd like to get a look at what goes into the making of Mountain Stage, you can see the show from the perspective of artists and our live audience by searching the hashtag Mountain Stage on social media. Be sure to follow us on Instagram @Mountain Stage. She was the CMA Female Vocalist of the Year twice, but tonight she's our guest host for the first time. Let's welcome back West Virginia's own Kathy Mattea.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, I am really excited to introduce this next band. This is their first time on the Mountain Stage. They're from Mobile, Alabama, and I just heard them for the first time in January. I played a festival down in Florida, which is about a 3-day songwriter festival with everything from people with just a guitar to full bands. And I played my set, stayed to listen to the band afterwards, and this lyric went by. You were pretty as a preacher's wife on Sunday morning, and I was useless as a church bell on Friday night. And my head snapped around till I almost had whiplash, and I became an instant fangirl. They've been together for 5 years. Late here, their most well-known song has almost 3 million streams on Spotify. They just announced a new album coming out June 7th called Songs for the Living and Otherwise. Please welcome to the Mountain Stage, the Mulligan Brothers.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. We thank you huge to Kathy. She's the reason we're here, and she's been a hero for a long time. So she may be the reason we're here in more ways than one. This is that song she was talking about. It's called "Lay Here." I remember I was singing about September when you walked across the boardwalk to that smoky bar. I've been singing for the last 6 nights. I couldn't barely talk to tell you just how pretty you were, but you were as pretty as a preacher's wife on Sunday. I was useless like a church bell on a Friday night. I felt like a tragedy all dressed in dirty clothes when you walked out before I could say how when you stepped in and the world stopped spinning. I gotta let you know just how I've become an artist and how things fall apart. It's the only thing I know. Won't you just stay here? Would you just stay here? We can just stay here. We can just stay here. Spent the whole next night on the telephone, and we were both alone and just waiting on a change. And I remember I felt as suave as a prom date, 15 minutes late in a rented suit in his mother's car. The next night was a Monday, and you came over to my house. We hardly talked about anything, but it never got quiet till we kissed our first of many, and the clock hands took a breathe from the round-the-clock labor of their day-to-day. 'Cause when you stepped in and the world stopped spinning, I gotta let you know that I know it will. I don't know when, and time will matter again. I don't wanna let you go. Won't you just stay here? Would you just stay here? We can just lay here. We can just lay here. Spent the whole next night on the telephone, and we were both alone, just waiting on a change. I remember I felt as suave as a prom date, 15 minutes late in a rented suit in his mother's car. Well, I was thinking I'd swing by sometime around midnight, turn my headlights off when I get near. Let's say you and me, we get the hell out of this town, 'cause we're the only thing to ever happen here. I got $50 if we ride with the windows down, and I'll screen my smokes. I think we'll make it into Georgia. We'll improvise from there. Everybody knows from here that you can't go to hell without passing through Atlanta first. I'll find a dead-end job, I'll try to write a dead-end song, just thoughtless enough to make the radio. And we'll drink wine like water as if we had a sorrow to drown in. If that don't work, it's alright, baby. We can just stay here. We can just stay here. 'Cause when you stopped in and the world stopped spinning, I gotta let you know just how I've become an artist, how things fall apart. It's the only thing I know. Won't you just stay here? Would you just stay here? We can just lay here. We can just lay here. We can just stay here. We can just stay here. Oh, we can get away, dear. Oh, we can just lay here. I remember I singing about September when you walked across the boardwalk to that smoky bar. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is, we have a new album coming out in June, and this is a song from that one. It's called Great Granddaddy's War. I can't remember the last time I saw a real smile. Just faces made for pictures from across the aisle. I was born on this team, I was born to win. Lord, have mercy on the others and forgive their sins. I know that I'm supposed to be angry. For the life of me, I can't figure out what for. If I can lie down with someone who loves me instead of dying in my great-granddaddy's war. We were born here crying with our egos bruised below the Mason-Dixon with the red state blues. We've got a lot of heroes here screaming Southern pride, but a hero's just a villain to the other side. There's 100 years of bitterness in our blood, and it flows with the conviction of a 40-day flood. Until we're out of ammunition and the rivers run red over what Jesus meant by what he never said. I know that I'm supposed to be angry. For the life of me, I can't figure out what for. If I can lie down with someone who loves me instead of dying in my great-granddaddy's war. Oh, pass me down that passion in those blue eyes, and give me that strong back and thinning hair. I'll take those calloused hands and I will use them for good, but let me choose my own cross to bear, 'cause they're heavier down. I swear they're heavier down here. I know that I'm supposed to be angry. For the life of me, I can't figure out what for. I believe that I'd be fortunate to die here, but I ain't dying in my great-granddaddy's war. I ain't dying in my great-granddaddy's war. I don't wanna die in my great-granddaddy's war. Thank you very much. there's this guy named Dale Drinker Jr., and when I was about this tall, I heard this noise. I just moved to a kind of a new town and a new school, and had older siblings that were they were networked. They were in the know of all the cool stuff happening around town. And there was this mysterious music that came from this dilapidated travel trailer. And as a kid, I was it was so mysterious to me, and I had to know where that music was coming from and why it was coming from there. One day, my older siblings kind of got me in, and there was a wonderful guitar player there named Dale Drinker Jr. that was practicing with his band that he had in high school. And my siblings were mad at me because they had been forced to sort of bring me along to this thing. But Dale was incredibly cool, and he pulled me up in his lap and set the guitar in front of me and sort of let me bang away, and he did all the smart stuff. And that was the first memory I have of wanting to do this. And then Dale kind of stayed the same age, and I grew up, and then we got to talk shop about music and what it's like to play it, and he said, let's get together and write sometime, and we did, and we wrote this song together. And it's one of my favorites because I got to write it with Dale Drinker Jr. This is called Cecilia. In the south of Alabama, near the Gulf of Mexico, on the banks of Old Town Bigby, walks an old lost forgotten soul. He was once a man of virtue, sadly less a man of means. He said, Cecilia, I won't let them hurt you. I'll set you free, oh, I'll set you free. 'Cause my love for you is stronger than these plantation walls. It howls at the moon at night. It don't know about the law, and it is at your beck and call. I'll set you free. Cecilia, don't you cry. By and by, Cecilia, don't you cry. She was born into subjection. She was born without a say. He was her first and only revelation, that she might not die that way. I will love you all the season. What you want is what I'll be. I'll be your rock, I'll be your reason. Just set me free, oh, just set me free. 'Cause my heart is so much stronger than these plantation walls. It howls at the moon at night. It don't care about the law, and it is at your beck and call. I'll set you free. Cecilia, don't you cry. By and by, Cecilia, don't you cry. He had never been inclined to help another man die, till we've all spent the time they wish to leave. With Cecilia at his side under that dark October sky, they climbed aboard his boat, left that man to bleed, bleed, bleed. No sooner than the boss man died, his glory fell out of the sky. Racing storm is on, they say. And revenge and water filled that boat and sank his one and only hope as he heard Cecilia's cries fading away. In the south of Alabama, near the Gulf of Mexico, on the banks of old time, baby, walks an old, lost, forgotten soul. From those murky, shallow waters to the Caribbean Sea, you can hear him cry, Cecilia, come set me free, oh come set me free, come set me free, come set me free. Cecilia, please come set me free. Come set me free. Oh, come set me free.
Thank you so much.
This is another one off of our upcoming record. This is called I Know That Man. Thank you again so much. The crew here has been just amazing. We've been very well taken care of today, more so than normal. And thank you all for being the type of people to support this sort of show. You're the people that were traveling all over the place in a short bus, trying to find. So thank you for being you. Thank you for having us. Thank you, Kathy. First time that I left him was the first I saw him cry. The second time he taught me not to when he dotted both my eyes. The third and fourth and fifth time he so quickly tracked me down. Still the few friends I had left would ask me why I stuck around. I know that man, I know him well. I know his father walked his mother right through hell. I know that man, I know that man. I know him like I know the back of his hand. Came home tired every evening from working on the farm. I'd sneak aside some grocery money before he put it in his arm. My friend Becky was a cashier working at the shop and Save gave me coupons for concealer. I guess I wore one lot those days. She said, I know that man, I know him well. I used to be the one telling everyone I failed. He's something else, he's not a man. And you know it like you know the back of his hand. Melody Duncan on that violin, everybody. Ben Leninger on the bass. Greg DeLuca on the drums. My name's Ross and we're the Mulligan Brothers and we're very grateful to be here. Thank you for having us. But I gave Becky all the money I'd been saving all this time. She said she knew some seedy fella just across the county line. One night he passed out in his armchair after rattling my brain. So I took that grocery money and I put it in his vein. I walked all the way to Becky's house. Night as clear as day. I felt the blessing of my father, and I couldn't feel my wedding day. When the sheriff brought the bad news, your husband has been found. You gotta identify the body. Can you come with me downtown? I know that man, I know him well. He had his demons and nobody else could tell. It won't be the same without that man. And I know it like I know the back of his hand. The back of his hand. The back of his hand. The back of his hand.
The Mulligan Brothers. Woo! Oh, that was just wonderful. That was just wonderful. Look for their new, Look for their new album, Songs for the Living and Otherwise, coming out June 7th.
If you missed an episode of Mountain Stage or want to revisit an artist we introduced you to, please check out our podcasts at mountainstage.org or via the podcast app there on your smartphone. Each podcast includes songs not heard on the radio, as well as the complete finale song. If you like what you hear, please leave a rating and a review so others can discover new music or reconnect with an old favorite. Now back to our guest host, Grammy winner and West Virginia native, Kathy Mattea.
We're going to end this hour with a singer-songwriter out of Austin, Texas. I first heard him on Terry Gross's NPR show Fresh Air a few years back, and that interview just aired again this January. He's a Renaissance man. He's a painter and a photographer and a playwright, as well as writing songs and performing. Renaissance means rebirth, and Sam Baker knows a little bit about that. In 1986, in Peru, on a train to Machu Picchu, he was involved in a terrorist attack. A bomb went off directly above his compartment on the train. His eardrums were blown and he sustained major injuries. But he would listen to a Walkman on full volume, letting it rattle the bones of his ears. He said, somewhere in there, I knew there was beauty. His road back was long, but during the rehab process, songs started coming to him. His latest album, a follow-up to his acclaimed 2013 album, Say Grace, is called Land of Doubt. Please welcome, for his second time on the Mountain Stage, Sam Baker.
So many years, so many hardships, so many laughs, so many tears. There's so many things to remember, 'cause they had 50 years. And now the kids, they got their own kids. And their own kids are grown. She told him not to worry. Said he'd be fine when she was gone. He walks down to the ocean, burns to touch the water, kneels to pray, and writes her name in the sand. Waves wash it away. There are seagulls circling shrimp boats. They turn inside the bay. There is an emptiness inside. It never goes away. He walks down to the ocean, bends to touch the water, kneels to pray, writes her name in the sand. Waves wash it away. So many years, there's so many hardships, there's so many laughs, so many tears, so many things he cannot remember, 'cause they had 50 years. He walks down to the ocean, burns to touch the water, kneels to pray, and writes her name in the sand. Waves wash it away. He writes her name in the sand. And waves, oh, they wash it away. Thank you so much. And Kathy, thank you for that beautiful introduction. She's from a hero of mine. That was touching. Thank you so much. There's one cardboard sign, says I got no home. One sign says I need booze. One sign says disabled vet, I was not born to lose. One sign says I am no quitter. One sign says you gotta smoke. One sign says I need gas for the lid. One sign says you gotta joke. Hey, hey, corner every day they're saying hey. Hey, hey. One sign says I am pregnant. One sign is upside down. One sign says I lost my husband. One sign says I lost my crown. One sign says I love Jesus. One says the end it's near. Oh, one sign just says please. One says I will work for beer. Hey, hey, corner every day. Hey, hey, corner every day. Hey, hey, corner every day they're saying hey. Hey, hey. said, meet me in St. Louis. You can meet me at the fair, but don't tell me the lights they shine any place but there. Hey, 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 corner every day they're saying, hey, hey, hey. Hey, one cardboard sign says it's time to pray. One sign says I need booze. One sign says I can't walk no more. One sign says I need shoes. And one says if I had a dollar, if I had not lost my crown. One says if I had a horse, so I would ride. Hey, 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 on the corner every day. Hey, 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 on the corner every day. Hey, hey, on the corner every day. They're saying, hey, hey, hey. Thank you so much. That's Chip Dolan over there. Well, there's a beautiful woman. She walks with a limp. He calls her his princess, calls her his gimp. She calls him her fat man, calls him her pimp. She teaches first graders. She got a beautiful limp. Isn't love great? Oh, isn't love grand? She touches his face. He holds her hand. Isn't love great? Isn't love grand? 4 years they've been married, not one day of trouble. God, two happy boys, good luck. Daily double, love to dance with each other, say they live in a bubble, go to church twice a week, not one day of trouble. Isn't love great? It isn't love grand? She touches his face, he holds her hand. Isn't love great? Isn't love grand? Oh, glory, hallelujah. My sisters and my brothers, she wears fishnet, he wears leather when the boys are at his mother's. There's a beautiful woman, she walks with a limp. He calls her his princess, calls her his gimp. She calls him her fat man, calls him her pimp. She teaches first grader, got a beautiful limp. Isn't love great? Isn't love grand? She touches his face, he holds her hand. Isn't love great? Isn't love great? Isn't love great? And isn't love grand? Thank you so much. This is Mike Meadows over here from Atlanta, Georgia. He was a quiet young man, too shy to get a date. He enlisted in the infantry. It was spring of '68. The army taught him how to march. They stuck him on a jet, had him crawling in a tunnel. It was right after Tet, with a flashlight and a .45. It was a long way to go for a boy named Charlie. There were snakes and jungle, there was all kinds of gnarly. Fighting somebody, everybody called Charlie was a mean kind of joke. This Charlie fighting Charlie. Way down in a tunnel where the fallen angels dwell, there's a quiet young man crawling into hell, with a flashlight and a .45. Charlie fighting Charlie, trying to survive. Charlie fighting Charlie just to stay alive. Then he came back home, drove real fast in a hopped-up super sport. 6 speeds of badass, stoplight dragging, fastest thing around. He's all jacked up, screaming through town, whistling past the graveyard, coming unwound. Yeah. Woman got a blackland farm, had a little girl, daddy's lucky little charm. A neighbor that served in World War II. He never said much, he's always kind of blue. He's always kind of blue. They'd have a drink or two, Charlie and that old man, same kind of blue. Way down in a tunnel where the fallen angels dwell, there's a quiet young man crawling into hell, with a flashlight and a .45. Charlie fighting Charlie, trying to survive. Charlie fighting Charlie, just stay alive. Charlie fighting Charlie, trying to survive. It's Charlie fighting Charlie. He said the only time he ever felt alive was crawling through a tunnel with a loaded .45. Charlie fighting Charlie, trying to survive. It was the only time that he ever felt alive. La 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 la. Thank you all so much. Thank you. This is a national treasure. I am so grateful to be invited back. Larry, Kathy, everybody, the stage crew. I know this is a lot of work, and everybody's saying thanks, and I'm not going to take much time to do it. But thank you for coming out. Thank you on radio for listening. Without you guys, man, we are the loneliest people. We sit in little rooms, and we have Crayolas, and we drink Kool-Aid, and we moan. So thank you all. Go in peace. Go in kindness. Go in love. Go in faith. Leave the day behind us. Day is done. Go in grace. Let us go into the dark, not afraid, and not alone. Let us hope by some good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Let us hope by some good pleasure safely to arrive at home.
Sam Baker. Wow. That was so beautiful. And I didn't wear waterproof mascara, so there's a problem happening here. I just want to say I ran into Sam at the hotel last night, and I just want you to know that when Sam gives you a hug, you know that you have been hugged. And you know that you have been hugged by someone with a ferocious zest for life before you ever even speak to the man. His latest album is Land of Doubt. There are 10 songs on this album, 5 cinematic interludes. It's really beautiful. We'd like to say a special hello to you right now if you're listening over KUAC with our friends in Fairbanks, Alaska, and to the listeners of WMRA in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Hey, I hope you'll be with us next time when Larry Gross returns to welcome Tal National, Ranky Tanky, Kaylin, Amy Rigby, and Shannon McNally. I'm Kathy Mattea, and you're listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia.
Mountain Stage is supported in part by this station and by West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Hotel accommodations for Mountain Stage guests are provided by the Charleston Marriott Town Center Hotel, centrally located for the business and pleasure traveler in downtown Charleston's retail district. This is Mountain Stage on NPR.
Yay! Thank you so much. And welcome to the second hour of Mountain Stage. I'm your guest host, Kathy Mattea. I'm filling in for Larry Gross. I'm glad you joined us, and I think you will be too. I'm telling you, so far, I'm just feeling really lucky to have been in this room tonight. We have heard some amazing music, and there's more to come. Later this hour, we'll hear from the Seamus Egan Project. Seamus has been on Mountain Stage many times as a member of Solace, and while that group's on hiatus, he's got a new album and a group that features Mara Smiley on vocals. What do you hear this woman sing? Take your time, whenever you're ready. They're just getting you technically ready.
You mean, I don't even, are we next?
You're next.
Okay,
That's why you're sitting in the middle of the stage, Cheryl. That's why you have your
I'm
guitar
sitting
and
on
all
the
of your
stage.
musicians.
Hi.
Yes. That would be you, yes,
Woo.
my friend. We're going to start this hour with one of my favorite songwriters. I love this woman. We are contemporaries of a sort. We were both kicking around Nashville in our younger years during what Steve Earle has referred to as the great credibility scare of the late 80s. She wrote the stunning song Aces for my friend Susie Bogus and 75 Septembers for Peter, Paul, and Mary, although every time I hear her sing it, it makes me weep. I'm telling you, I listened to it several times this week. I could not get through it. Her songs have been covered by everyone from Kenny Loggins to Bette Midler to Garth Brooks and me. But the songs are only part of her story. Her stories are the other part of her stories. It's her other stuff that makes Cheryl's performances so special. It's what goes on between the songs. She's released several live albums over the years, and the latest one is called Cheryl Wheeler Live, featuring Kenny White. So Kenny's going to return to the stage to join her for this set. Please welcome back to the Mountain Stage, Cheryl Wheeler.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm delighted beyond the telling to be here. I'm going to start with this song that had the great good fortune of having been sung by Kathy Mattea herself, and this is a song I wrote when I started to feel like I was getting old, and that was 28 years ago. Well, I can see the place where I came from. I can hear those sounds right now. I can find the paths I used to run and believe I still know how. But then I shake my head, clear in my vision. I keep those scenes at bay, and I can see the place that I came from slipping further and further away.
I can feel the way I used to feel when the world was small and green, and you sang a song of soft appeal, and I curled into my dream. Then I shake my head, clearing my vision. I keep those scenes at bay, and I can feel the way I used to feel, slipping further and further away.
Time keeps moving faster and faster. I'm not losing track. Oh, I'm afraid that something's forgotten, so I keep looking back.
faster and faster. I'm not losing track. Oh, I'm afraid that something's forgotten, so I keep looking back. And I can hear the songs you used to sing. I can swear I won't let go. You were strong and you knew everything, and that was all I had to know. But then I shake my head, clear in my vision. I keep those scenes at bay, and I can hear the songs you used to sing slipping further and further away. I can hear the songs you used to sing slipping further and further away, slipping further and further away. That was lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great band. Thanks all you guys so much. So now I'm going to sing this song. I'm not sure what key I sing it in, but neither are you, so no worry there. One of them's out, but there's 6 of them, and it's hard to figure out which one it is. So Kenny, that fella over there, is my best friend, and he's also my only friend. No, we have been very, very good friends since the 70s, since we were in our 70s, and we did a really long road trip in 2012. It was a 32-night trip. We didn't have a gig every night, but we were on the road for 32 nights. We started out in Alaska. It was his first trip to Alaska, and my 9th or 10th, and I've been back since. I like to go to Alaska always in February or March because I like nature best when it's dead. So we left our respective homes on the 1st of March of that year and flew to Anchorage and had about a week's worth of shows up there. And then we had a week off, but the next shows were down in Southern California, so we weren't going to fly back to the East Coast and fly back to the West Coast. And I'm never in a hurry to get to a hot place and never in a hurry to get to a big city. So the idea of getting on an airplane in Anchorage in March and getting off in L.A. was horrifying to me. And I said, Kenny, I'm going to fly to Seattle, rent a car, and drive down because I'd rather acclimate to the climate. And he said, well, that sounds like a good idea. I'll do that with you. So great. So we were together almost all the time for 32 days. So much so that I took to jokingly calling him my husband, since that is certainly as close to having a husband as I would ever get. And it was fantastic. We had a great time. We laugh all the time. We're so happy all the time. So it was the 16th night of the trip, so halfway through, and neither of us remembers the name of the town or anything. We were in Northern California. We were headed for Oregon in the morning. And we just both remember that the hotel that night was a casino hotel in Northern California. Really not my scene. And, well, I was going to say, do you remember when I was in 8th grade? And you probably don't, but when I was in 8th grade, there was a cologne that became very popular for the boys called English Leather. Right? And so for a couple of years, all the boys smelled like English leather, and then it disappeared from the face of the earth, and now I know where it went. It went to the casino hotel in Northern California. Because everyone and everything in this hotel just reeked of English leather. It was horrifying. It's like, what the hell would this place smell like if you weren't dousing it constantly? So we were just pretty weary, and the next morning, just a few minutes before I was getting ready to hook up with Kenny in the lobby, I called home my partner, Kathleen. I called her, and I probably shouldn't have called her that morning, really. I was really cranky and tired and out of sorts, and she probably shouldn't have answered the phone because she was really cranky and tired and out of sorts, and plus she had some horrible respiratory thing going on. So she and I had this snippy little conversation. Neither of us got a thing we wanted out of that. And Kenny and Kathleen are also very good friends, and so seconds after I hung up from Kathleen and I headed out to the lobby to see Kenny, and I was still rather miffed, and I made a comment to him which struck us both as, oh my God, that sounds like a country song title. Except no way, it could never be. So, I thought might be interesting to see if I could write the country song that could never be. Now, you have to understand this song is written as if the songwriter believes that this is in fact going to be a huge country sensation. Out here on the road, it is just suitcase and guitar, and we mostly love the shows and laugh our heads off in the car. My darling sweetie's sick at home, our calls of trouble and strife, and so now I like my husband better than my wife. Now darling, I know you know this is just a quirky line, a ploy to turn some ASCAP moolah into yours and mine. And we don't even need to keep the rhyming too precise. And now I like my husband better than my wife. And it will make it onto hats and t-shirts, bumper stickers too. We'll hear insider rumors about him and me and you. That soothing voice of Toby Keith's will cut this like a knife. Now I like my husband better than my wife. And we'll take First Dimension Church and pick up trucks at lakes, barroom brawls and suey calls, and how a good heart breaks. And we'll remember Mama's warnings that the ways of sin are rife, and end with now I like my husband better than my wife. Oh, now I like my husband better than my wife. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. So, of course, then I, talked to Kathleen the next day. Oh, how you doing? Oh, great, I wrote a new song. Tell me about it. So, I told her, the title of that song is actually Kenny's song, but when I told her the husband-wife line, she had to hang up because she was laughing so much she couldn't stop coughing. This song's almost 20 years old. Maybe it's the movies, maybe it's the books, maybe it's the bullets, maybe it's the real crooks, maybe it's the drugs, maybe it's the parents, maybe it's the colors everybody's wearing, maybe it's the president, maybe it's the last one, maybe it's the one before that, what he'd done, maybe it's the high schools, maybe it's the teachers, maybe it's the tattooed children in the bleachers, maybe it's the Bible, maybe it's the lack, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the crack, maybe it's the hairdos, maybe it's the TV, maybe it's the cigarettes, maybe it's the family, maybe it's the fast food, maybe it's the news, maybe it's divorce, maybe it's abuse, maybe it's the lawyers, maybe it's the prisons, maybe it's the senators, maybe it's the system, maybe it's the fathers, maybe it's the sons, maybe it's the sisters, maybe it's the moms, maybe it's the radio, maybe it's road rage, maybe El Nino or UV rays, maybe it's the army, maybe it's the liquor, maybe it's the papers, maybe the militia, maybe it's the athletes, maybe it's the ads, maybe it's the sports fans, maybe it's a fad, maybe it's the magazines, maybe it's the internet, maybe it's the lottery, maybe it's the immigrants, maybe it's taxes,
big business, maybe it's the KKK and the skinheads, maybe it's the communists, maybe it's the Catholics, maybe it's the hippies, maybe it's the addicts, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the sex, maybe it's the homeless, maybe it's the banks, maybe it's the clear cut, maybe it's the ozone, maybe it's the chemicals, maybe it's the car phone, maybe it's the fertilizer, maybe it's the nose rings, maybe it's the end. But I know one thing, if it were up to me, I'd take away the guns. I'd take away the guns. I'd take away the guns.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Whew. Every time I sing that, I can't believe I remembered it all. I had a person say, I like it when you sing that song. You sing it different every time. I said, oh, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. So, okay. What can I say, right? Raise your hand if you play even just a couple of chords on the guitar. I'm not going to single you out. Now, you, get up here now. Now, so raise your hand if you also play the ukulele. See, what a lot of you don't know, if you play the guitar, you also play the ukulele. The notes are different on the strings, but the relationship is the same, so that which is a D on the guitar is something else on the ukulele, but I don't know, because I just call it a D, even though it's not one on the ukulele. I think it's a G on the ukulele. I think everything's up for fourth. But it's so nice. I know so many people who say, oh, I never play anymore, and the strings on my guitar are old. Get yourself... Now, if you really want to be a real ukulele player, you have to get like one of those soprano ukes, like those great ukulele players play. But then you also need a praying mantis to play it for you, because I'm telling you, it's a tiny little thing. But it's a. But I'm not a ukulele player. I just play the ukulele like a guitar, and it's. But it is so easy. The strings are soft. I really like that. You can fall asleep with it in your lap. So I highly recommend it. Now, I'm going to see if I can... I have 2 dogs at home and have had dogs my whole life, and I consider myself one of the greatest blessings in my life is how much I love dogs and how much I get to have them around me. And I'm sure some of you feel the same way about your dogs, and it's insane, and it's also a little embarrassing, I have to say. I mean, at least once a night around our house, one of us says, shh, listen, she's snoring. She's snoring. And then we mute the TV, and for a few minutes we go, wah, 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 until the dog gets up and gives us the finger. It's like, get a life, you two. It's just embarrassing. I call Kathleen every day from the road. I always ask how the dogs are, and she almost always says, what do you mean? They took the Prius and came to see you. We never get tired of that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it's like, oh, look, he moved his foot. Oh, my God, look at his lip. Oh, my God. So it's terrible. I started to write this song about my Jack Russell, Kitty. I did get a lot of grief for naming a dog Kitty, but it is a name as well as a noun, right? I mean, I had an Aunt Kitty, and we were never confused. But so I started to write this song about Kitty, and ended up kind of writing about dogs in general. Well, she can capture me every single time, even if she's snoozing through the morning. And I could hardly be more adore inclined to see her face all blinky-eyed and yawning. In this world of amazements, it still blows my mind how the life in this creature can mean so much to mine. Oh, fortunate soul, with so much I am blessed. For such joys I am grateful, and none more than this. Racing out the door,
flying down the stair. Mrs. Muscles rolls around, legs up in the air. And quiet on the couch, winter afternoon, I come upon her sleeping and testify in swoon. And she is no way the first, she is no way the last. They proceed through my memory, a star-studded cast. They are teaching me something, I don't have it quite. But if I keep on listening, one day I might. And she's an elder now, spring has worn to spry, soft and gray of snout and slightly blue of eye, with her ears reclined to meek. Anyone can see that I've become accustomed to her leaning into me. Oh, I've become accustomed to her leaning into me.
Thank you. One more? That's it? One more? Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Kitty didn't like that song that much. I played it for her. She just walked away. She likes Pink. I got time for one more song, and I got to do it real quick. She's crazy about Pink. I am too. Now, I did not write this song, and I kind of didn't really know I was going to do it. It's kind of a last-minute thing. I'm doing it because I'm a particularly inappropriate person to be doing it. This song was a huge hit in the 60s, big hit. There are 114 recordings of it on iTunes. And I'm the wrong person to do it because even though I've been doing this like forever, I have never once, and tonight is no exception, remembered to look at my hair before I came out on stage. I haven't. This is dressed up for me. If I go beyond this at all, I look like Klinger. So, and I don't want to be a person that doesn't notice what their hair looks like. I look in the mirror, I just don't see what my hair looks like. So I went out to this really important meeting one time in Newport. I came home and Kathleen was like, please tell me you did not go out with your hair like that. It was all on one side. It was a good look. So anyway, if you're my age, you might think that the 60s weren't that long ago, but they were. Hey, little girl, comb your hair, fix your makeup. Soon he will open the door. Don't think because there's a ring on your finger, you needn't try anymore. For wives should always be lovers too. Run to his arms the moment he comes home to you. I'm warning you. Day after day, there are girls at the office, and men will always be horned up men. Don't send him off with your hair still in curlers. You may never see him again. For wives should always be lovers too. Run to his arms the moment he comes home to you. He's almost here. Hey, little girl, better wear something pretty, something you'd wear to go to the city. And dim all the lights, pour the wine, start the music. Time to get ready. Yeah, time to get ready for love. Thank you, Kenny White. Thank you all so much. Good night.
Cheryl Wheeler. Standing ovation for Cheryl Wheeler and Kenny White. That was Cheryl Wheeler giving us her particular flavor of emotional whiplash. I have to say, she was talking about English leather, and it made me think of that old commercial. And I thought she was going to go for it, but she didn't. Where the woman used to say, "All my men wear English leather, or they wear nothing at all." It's time to welcome our piano player, Bob Thompson, to the stage. Bob Thompson is a treasure, and he lives right here in my hometown, Charleston, West Virginia. He's a fabulous and well-respected jazz pianist who plays all over the country. Please welcome, playing a song by the Association that you might remember, "Never My Love," Bob Thompson. That was Bob Thompson with Never My Love by the Association. You should have heard us all singing along this afternoon. We were all doing all the bump bumps backstage and everything. You can find his music at colortones.com. This is Kathy Mattea, and you're listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia.
Major funding for Mountain Stage is provided by Bailey & Glasser, LLP, a nationwide law firm born in West Virginia with offices in Charleston, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Morgantown, D.C., Boston, Alabama, and Delaware. Details at baileyglasser.com. And by Wild Wonderful West Virginia. Whether you're looking for extreme outdoor adventure, family fun, or an intimate getaway for two, there's something for everyone in the Mountain State. Travel planning and trip ideas available. Visit go2wv.com. Additional support provided by the Charleston, West Virginia Convention and Visitors Bureau, showing the world why Charleston is hip, historic, and almost heaven. Your adventure starts online at charlestonwv.com. This is Mountain Stage on NPR. You can hear Mountain Stage guest performances, including songs not heard on the radio, at NPR Music. The address is npr.org/mountainstage. And Mountain Stage is excited to be a part of Slingshot, a collaboration with taste-making public radio stations and NPR Music to discover and elevate exceptional emerging artists. Find out more about the latest class of 20 Slingshot artists, including West Virginia indie rockers Hello June, at npr.org/slingshot. Now back to our special guest host, West Virginia's own Grammy winner, Kathy Mattea.
We're going to end this show in a special way. We're recording this show in March, capping off the Celtic Calling weekend of events here in Charleston, West Virginia. And so it's fitting we're being joined by one of Irish music's leading champions. Seamus Egan is familiar to a lot of you. He's been on the show 9 times as a member of Solace. He's an amazing musician. He was born here in the U.S. to Irish parents, but he moved with his family back to Ireland in County Mayo when he was 3 and became quickly a musical prodigy. By the age of 14, he had won the All-Ireland Championships 4 times on 4 different instruments: flute, mandolin, banjo, and tin whistle. He's fearless musically, always searching for the common ground between seemingly incompatible styles. Please welcome back to the Mountain Stage, the Seamus Egan Project.
Thank you. Well, it's so lovely to be back here on Mountain Stage. And so this is my 10th time. I understand I might get a jacket now.
Woo!
And if I don't, I'll be very, very disappointed. It would be I've been so looking forward to this jacket since 1995. And I thought, well, I've been here so many times with, the 9 times with Solace, that now that I was here without Solace, that I was going to go back to 0. And then I was like, I might not live that long. And I really wanted a jacket. So I'm not trying to put pressure on getting this jacket or anything, but I need a jacket. Well, it is great to be back here and with this new project. I suppose I'm the Seamus Egan part of the project, and these are the other members of the project, and we'll introduce you as we go along here. But to get things going here, we'd like to introduce you to, this is Miss Maura Smiley on the vocals.
Thank you. Hi. That was so nice. Thank you. We're going to do a song that is, it's by Laura Nero, but you might know it better by the recording of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. This is called And When I Die. Well, I'm not scared of dying, and I don't really care if it's peace you find in dying. Let the time be near. If it's peace you find in dying, when dying time is near. Just bundle up my coffin, 'cause it's cold way down there. And when I die, and when I'm gone, there'll be one child born in the world to carry on, to carry on. Oh, give me, for as long as I be, give me freedom, give me freedom. I have no chains on me. And all I ask of living is to have no chains on me. And all I ask of dying is that I go naturally. And when I die, and when I'm born, there'll be one child born in the world to carry on, to carry on. Oh, my troubles are many, they're as deep as the well. I can't swear there ain't no heaven, but I pray there ain't no hell. I can't swear there ain't no heaven, but I pray there ain't no hell. But I never know by living, only my dying will tell. And when I'm gone, yeah, when I'm gone, there'll be one child born in the world to carry on, 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 to carry on. I don't wanna go by the devil, I don't wanna go by the demon, don't wanna go by Satan, don't wanna die uneasy. I don't wanna go by the devil, I don't wanna go by the demon, don't wanna go by Satan, don't wanna die uneasy. Don't wanna go by the devil, I don't wanna go by the demon, I don't wanna go by Satan, don't wanna die uneasy. Don't wanna go by the devil, don't wanna go by the demon, don't wanna go by Satan, don't wanna die uneasy. Don't wanna go by the devil, don't wanna go by the demon, don't wanna go by Satan, don't wanna die uneasy. Don't wanna go by the devil, don't wanna go by demon.
That's Maura Smiley, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Laura Nero. Seamus and I wrote this song because we were thinking about how there's a lot of not listening. There's a lot of not listening going on right now. Not right now, but in the world feels like shouting, not listening. And I was just thinking about how, what if there was so much no listening that all the singers decided to stop singing and players stopped playing and even the birds maybe stopped singing. That'd be sad. So here's a song to say that won't happen. Oh, sit with me, birdie, in the tall tree. No smoke and the battle sounds. These days of war. These days of war. Oh, little bird, why do you fly away? Leave me alone in this silent day. How do you sing in these days of war, when no one listens anymore? I fly because I must carry on, to love, to feed, to make my home. And I sing to know that love is near, because anger holds the hand of fear. Yeah, I sing to know that love is near, because anger holds the hand of fear. Yeah, I sing to know that love is near, because anger holds the hand of fear. These days of war. In these days of war.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so brand new, and it's exciting to do that in front of you. And thanks for being such a sweet audience. I am so happy I'm going to be back here on May 12th, back in Charleston. I'm going to be singing with Woman's Song and doing some, they're going to do some of my songs. I'm going to do some. So come back, and I think some of them are here too. So yeah, woo! All right, on with the show. I think we got some tunes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I think we have time for one more here before we have to go. But thank you very much for once again making us feel so very welcomed here back on Mountain Stage. Just to let you know who's who up here. On the guitar over here and the vocals, this is Mr. Kyle Sana. And over here on the bouzouki and the other instrument that everyone is always very curious about, it's the harmonium, for those of you wondering, and that's Mr. Owen Marshall. And on the vocals and the banjo and the accordion and now soon to be the piano, that's Miss Maura Smiley.
We're going to start this set with a song called Lay Me Down by Jer Wolf. But we're going to tune first because we like you. Jer Wolf is from Cork in Ireland, and he's living today and still writing many, many great songs. And a friend of mine went and met him and learned all about this song, which is to me about, and I think to him about the world being crazy, but you're saying, all right, bring it, I'll take it, or lay me down. So if you want to sing along out there, the chorus is yours to grab. It just says, lay me down, lay me down.
And the sap will run, bleed the grain. the sap will run. Lay me down between the days when the sun sleeps high in the hay, set like waves at endless play. Lay me down between the days, oh, lay me down between the days, and lay me down, lay me down, lay me down, lay me down.
Thank you very, very, very much.
The Seamus Egan Project. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, my Lord. That was so great. So great. They have a new album they're working on right now, coming out sometime later this year when it gets finished, he says. A couple of other tidbits. You probably already know this, but Seamus wrote I Will Remember You with Sarah McLachlan, that beautiful, beautiful song. That was Seamus along with Mara Smiley, Kyle Sana, and Owen Marshall. Another little tidbit, he played at Bonnie Raitt's wedding. She's a fan, and so are we. So there you have it, Seamus Egan. Our thanks to the Seamus Egan Project, to Cheryl Wheeler, Kenny White, Sam Baker, and the Mulligan Brothers. And our thanks to you folks here at the Culture Center Theater in Charleston, West Virginia. Thanks to Larry Gross. Thank you, Larry, for allowing me to have this wonderful experience. I have so much appreciation for how easy you make your job look. Thank you for inviting me to host the show. It's been a thrill. Special thanks to you out there listening on the radio, because without you, there'd be no Mountain Stage. We never forget that. We hope you'll be with us next time when Larry returns to host with Tal National, Ranky Tanky, Kaylin, Amy Rigby, and Shannon McNally. Mountain Stage is produced by Larry Gross and Adam Harris. Associate producers are Jeff Shirley and Vasilia Skoras. Assistant producer is Alex Palmer. Production manager is Paul Flaherty. We're engineered by Francis Fisher, Richie Collins, Jim Raines, and Patrick Stevens. Production assistance by Michael Lipton, Joey Ansel, Mary Lee, Lance Schrader, Chris Mead, and Wookie. Photographic services provided by Brian Blauser. Promotions are coordinated by Adam Harris, Vasilia Skoras, and Music in Motion Promotions. Special thanks to Mountain Stage members Walter and Sean Williams for their generous support. Lodging is provided by the Marriott Town Center Hotel, centrally located for the business and pleasure traveler in downtown Charleston. Why don't you go out and hear some live music wherever you are just as soon as you can? I'm Kathy Mattea, and you've been listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia. The water is wide. I can't cross over, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two. Shall roll, my love and I. Mara smiling.
There is a shame. Oh, she says the sea. She's loaded deep.
Melody and Ross.
But not so deep.
Bob Thompson. Seamus Egan. Kenny White. Cheryl Wheeler.
Love is handsome and love is kind. Gay as a June when first it's new.
Julie Adams.
But love grows cold and waxes cold and fades away like morning dew.
Chip Dolan. Michael Lipton. All right, let's take it home.
The water is wide, I can't cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row. My love and I, and both shall row. My love and I.
Support for Mountain Stage is provided by Bailey and Glasser and by Wild, Wonderful West Virginia. This is NPR.